see it's a few faces that was in some of the other classes that I talked to, but my story ain't really written down. It can come from my heart, so you're gonna hear it a different way. But most of y'all haven't heard it. So I wanna introduce myself. My name is Antoine Mitchell Sr. So I'm a former student of Marshall. I actually got kicked out in the 6th grade right here. They sent me to alternative school. I ended up dropping out in 7th grade, making some very bad decisions, following the wrong crowd, ended up in the streets for a long time. Ended up going to prison for 10 years. I did prison for 10 years. I got out. I was determined not to make that the rest of my life. And some of the stuff I seen, it kind of changed the way I looked at life. So I got out determined to give myself a try. Ended up going to University of Phoenix, get my bachelor's degree in business management with a concentration in marketing. But it's some things that happened along the way that I'll never be the same, and I realized how important education was, because when I was sitting in prison, I realized that 75% of people in prison don't even got an education. So now it set me on a different study because I'm in the marketing and research, so now I had to try to dig and try to figure out. I found something called School to Prison Pipeline. Has anybody heard of it? You heard of it? So let me tell you what School to Prison Pipeline is. School to Prison Pipeline saying that, man, it's gonna be some students that they wanna be class clowns, we gonna kick them out, they don't care about school, and guess what, if they never make it to an 8th grade reading level, we gonna send them to prison because we make more money on them in prison anyway. It's $12,000 to send a kid to school. They make $115,000 to send you to prison. This don't matter about what color you are, don't matter about what man, boy, or girl. So I went through this whole journey and I kept asking God, why me? And I keep saying, why I got to go to prison? Why I got to be lost in the street? Why my daddy got to be on crack cocaine? Why we got to be poor? It wasn't until I started asking myself, why not me? So I went through that whole journey and I'm realizing that it came a point where I realized this journey ain't even about me. It's about the people. There's so many young people that I need to come back and tell my story. I graduated with my bachelor's degree. I sat down for a whole week because if nobody ever been to school, they can never tell you this. The opportunities that open up once you graduate with a bachelor's degree, they overwhelmed me. I had to sit down for a whole week and think about where my life was headed. Because opportunities that was in my grasp that I wasn't qualified for, now they available. So now I had to ask myself, where can I bring the most impact at? I was working at Walmart, working 50 hours a week. I sat down for a week. I said, you know what? I want to bring impact. The money don't matter. I want to know where I can bring the most impact. I sat down and thought for a week, and then it came back to me. I said, man, it's so many young people that, man, they out here in middle school, and they right there at the fork in the road. If they make the wrong decision, they going to go down the bad road. If they make the right decision, they can go around the good road. But I also realized it's some people that ain't got my story. It's some people that got a story, but they don't got my story. My daddy was on drugs. We was poor. I was depressed. I was angry. It was a lot of things that I went through that I could understand and I can relate what people going through. My story might have been a little worse than some of y'all. So I say, you know what? Man, I need to use my story because it's a lot of young people that they don't got the guidance. They people ain't even seen what I seen. They had to overcome what I had to overcome. So I say, you know what? I need to spend the rest of my life waking up the young people. Because man, look where we at. The young people so lost, it's the blind leading the blind. I realized that back in my days, it was a lot of religious leaders that was in the streets telling the story, saying, hey, get straight. We ain't even got no leaders no more. The young people lost for real. And then what I like to talk about is young people, so the respect is so low now, people my age don't even want to say nothing to the young people. So y'all even lost because you getting people my age walking by you like, that go that YN, huh? Because I don't know if he gonna shoot me. I don't know if he finna cuss me out today. So as I made my way to prison, it ain't nothing but reflection time. I had a lot of time to sit back and reflect. I kept asking myself, why me? I had to understand where I went wrong at, but I was trying to impress some people that I don't even see these people no more in my life. I was trying to be cool with a crowd that, man, I don't even know these people right today. So and I got to ask myself, why was I trying to impress people in 6th grade that I was never going to see again in my life? It was some things, once I was on that ride, and listen, I'm on this ride, I call it a journey. Because the journey, you don't know what's going to happen on this journey. And even though I was in one place, my mind kept rolling. Because I got to relive my past. I got to look at myself in the mirror. I got to see where I went wrong. I can't blame my mom at this point because this is a lifestyle I chose. I seen something coming. And man, this is the one I want to hit home. And I seen something coming, and I want y'all to get this if y'all can't get nothing else. 75% of people in prison don't got high school diplomas. Man, when I realized that, them numbers there shook me. So when I did my research, I realized that every day they building prisons based on the reading level. If you don't read past the 8th grade level, they building a prison for you right now. This ain't me talking these statistics. This ain't me talking, if you can't read past the 8th grade level, they building a prison bed for each and every last one of y'all right now. Statistics say that if you can't read past the 8th grade level, once they go to throwing all these different jargons at you and stuff, you're gonna get confused, you're gonna lay down. And you ain't gonna be able to fight to get out of there. You ain't gonna be able to comprehend that good. So I rolled back over my mind and I realized that it was a time came once I had quit school in 7th grade and I was so lost and trying to figure it out. When people trying to talk to me, they was talking over my head and it was making me frustrated. I used to get mad. I wanna fight. I could beat you this way, but you ain't gonna talk over my head. But it's like, what path is that? Now so many people, they don't wanna say nothing to me. They don't wanna be around me no more. So I realized that it was, in order to elevate, I was gonna have to educate. In order to be different, and I realized, as I said, in prison, 75% of the prison population don't got a high school diploma. I had another opportunity to teach and help out for 6 years in the education department to see what was going on. It don't really become apparent to me until I become a teacher and I'm helping people that's older than me, helping them with fractions. I say, oh, there's a problem here. So they locking up people that don't got an education. So you mean to tell me the problem is the education, but the solution is the education too? So back to what I was finna tell you, if I can't tell you nothing else, I want to tell you that education is the most important thing. People ask me, how you pro-education that I quit school in the 7th grade? Hindsight is 20. I quit school in the 7th grade, but I seen how important it was, so I went back and got a bachelor's degree. The road I took, I don't advise nobody to take it. It's only 0.1% of people who did what I did. You quit school in the 7th grade, you go to get in the streets, you go to prison, you come back and you get a bachelor's degree. Those odds are real slim. Usually it's so hard to come back if you get off track. That's why I'm here today. I want people to stay on track. Ever since I found out the school to prison pipeline, I say, man, I want to be the one single person, I want to disrupt the school to prison pipeline. Because if I'd have had somebody come tell me about this is really a thing, and you mean to tell me if I could just learn how to read and just focus on my education, this don't even exist for you no more. But if you think you're gonna be a class clown, you think you ain't gonna pay attention, you think you're gonna disrespect these teachers, you think you're gonna have no respect for yourself, it can happen to you. So, like I say, I wanna beat this home so bad and I wanna show you how education is so important. This ain't somebody told me, right? I ain't read this out of a book, I live this. So I realized school was preparing a framework to learn how to learn. When I go to college, I realized that I had to relearn how to learn. Y'all ain't hear me. When I go to college, I got to learn how to learn. But school, I already know it. When you're in school, you like, man, this is what Mr. Coleman teaching me, man, I don't need this. You might not need this particularly, but the thing that you do need is you need to learn how to learn. And the thing about it, learn how to learn, now you have to learn how to be a better son. One day you're going to have to learn how to be a father. You're going to have to learn how to be a mother. You're going to have to learn credit. You're going to have to learn how to learn how to buy a house. It's so many things that once you learn how to learn, now you set your mind up to where you can really apply it. So we have to shift the way we even look at learning, because if we think about learning as, oh, we're not going to use this, we got to look at learning like we how to learn. It's a building blocks. Man, if you don't take nothing else from me today, I just want to only y'all remember one thing. Education is the most important thing you can do right now. But just know, whoever don't apply themselves, and you can't get your reading up to 8th grade level, it don't matter. Man, woman, boy, girl, white, black, or Mexican, they got a prison cell for you. This ain't me talking. School to prison pipeline, look it up. Everybody got a phone, look it up. School to prison pipeline. When I realized that I became a victim of this here, I said, man, when I realized that this is a real study, I go back and I say, man, what is it gonna take to disrupt that? Oh, it's some young people need to hear my story. So I don't tell you I went to prison because I want to glorify it. I tell you I went to prison because I don't want my to be your future. I really believe that if it was somebody that I could really relate to that would have came and spoke to me when I was in this seat, I think I could have got it. But everybody I kept hearing speak, I kept saying, man, y'all can't relate to me. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what it's like to go to sleep hungry sometimes. You don't know what it's like to have one shoe and walking out the shoes and they stink. It was 5 of us in the house, man, sometime in a 2-bedroom house. Mama did the best she could. Bless her heart. Man, so I understand, man, there's a lot of adversity that we come up against, but it ain't about how you start, it's how you finish. You can overcome everything that was put in front of you. I know I get a little passionate when I go to talking, y'all got to forgive me, but I really got a heart for people in middle school, because when I did the study on myself, I realized that middle school was the pivotal moment. Man, I want to see y'all make up y'all mind right now today. It's a decision you can make today that'll change your whole life. It'll change the trajectory of where you're going at and what you're going to be. It's so important. How much time we got? So the ones that know the answer to this question don't say nothing. But how many people know what an acronym is? See, there ain't been a lot of people that know what that is. Tell me what it is down there, ma'am. Hold up, you just had your hand up. I asked you, you had your hand up. Oh, you were scratching your head.
Sir, an acronym is whenever you take a word that's long, or it can be any length, and you shorten it like MMS.
That's an acronym. Good job. So for the people that don't know what an acronym is, like each acronym is a word, but each represents a different word. So I have a framework I put together. So one of my things to say is be great. Be is an acronym. I realized as I was on my journey, you know, you're wrong. Hindsight is 20/20. So when I look back and I see some of the things that I wish I would have knew as I was going through it, I could have probably got a better result. But it's like, hey, hindsight 20/20. So I say, you know what? I need to develop a framework that I can present to the young people. If you take this with you, now you're going to increase your confidence. You're going to have the tenacity to get through, the mental fortitude to kind of face whatever situation you get into and overcome it. So be great is an acronym. Can everybody see it? So be great is an acronym. The B stands for believe. Believe you're bigger than your environment, your zip code. It's not your future. You want to believe in yourself because a lot of people ain't gonna believe in you. A lot of people, listen, your mama might not believe in you because she probably only went so far, so she can't tell you about you go do that. I'm the first generation male to graduate college in my family. Nobody could tell me, hey, go do that because ain't nobody been that far. I had to believe in me. They told me I was crazy. I dropped out of school in 7th grade. How you gonna do that? I don't know. I'll figure it out. So it don't matter about where you start at. It don't matter because your mama ain't do it. It don't matter because you ain't do it. Guess what? You can do it. You got to believe in yourself. You have big dreams, and one thing you ain't gonna do, you gonna tell these small-minded people about your big dreams. You try to tell a small-minded person about big dreams, guess what they gonna do? Tell you it's no way possible, because they gonna try to hold you their limitations. You can dream bigger than anything you ever been through. You got to believe in you. Endure. Push through the pain. Excuses only cost you opportunity. 0 excuses, 100% accountability. Listen, it's only so long you're going to better blame your mama for the stuff you doing. It's only so long you're going to blame your daddy because he wasn't there. Guess what? He ain't coming. 0 excuses, 100% accountability. You're going to grind with intention, put effort into what elevates you. Grades, discipline, and self-respect. You're going to grind. Ain't nobody giving you nothing. I told you they make more money off sending you to prison. They don't care. You're going to grind. You're going to be resilient. You're going to bounce back stronger every time. Your comeback is proof of your power. I'm telling you right now, you're going to fail. You're going to fall, but it ain't about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get up. If I ain't get up some of the times I failed, I wouldn't be here today. When you see a successful person, just know this a whole bunch of failures added up. You can fall 99, you just got to get up that 100 times. Keep on pushing. This is my by far the favorite one, and this is the one I want. If you don't remember nothing else, you want to educate. Commit to learning. Knowledge levels you up everywhere you go. Knowledge is the new money. Knowledge is the new money. You got to educate. You got to open your mind to be a student of life. It's bigger than school, y'all. It's a lot of other stuff that you're going to have to learn to get yourself ready for the world. You got to apply yourself, though. You got to be ready for education. You got to adapt. Be willing to pivot, change, innovate, and adjust no matter the situation. Listen, it's going to take for you to adapt. Every situation you get into ain't going to be ideal. Every teacher ain't going to be the same. Every school you go to ain't going to be the same. The expectations of you ain't going to be the same. But you're going to adapt. You're going to evolve. In order to have growth, you got to have change. In order to have growth, you got to have change. You got to adapt. and you gotta transform them. Transform. One decision a day can rewrite your whole life from setback to comeback to breakthrough. It don't take but one great decision to change the trajectory of your life, whether good or bad. How many people got younger siblings here? Hey, y'all can put your head down. That's good. You can put them down. So let me ask y'all this. Y'all realize that when you got younger siblings, you a leader because these young people looking up to you. Whatever you decide to do, good or bad, these people are looking up to you. So if you make bad decisions to quit school, not focus, be disrespectful, these people are following you everything you do. And it's the same thing. If you get up to go ball and go to college, or you get up to go to school and go be a lawyer or go be a doctor, these young people gonna follow your footsteps. So we got a bigger responsibility because when we leaders, we got people that's following us and we accountable for them. So we have to be different when we got somebody following us because we know these people, everything we do, these people watching us. Over half of the room held their hand up. But we got to realize that in leadership, we may have to break generational curses. We do the right thing even when ain't nobody looking. Our road gonna be a little bit harder because guess what? We got people looking up to us. And they should us. Our every move. One of the other things that, man, I really want y'all to remember this too. I'm gonna touch on this one. Man, respect. We did such a big thing. And I'm in the conversation of what a lot of adults have. The young people that's so disrespectful. I don't even want to tell him to put his pants up because he's so disrespectful. I don't even want to tell him when he's doing wrong because I don't know what he's going to come back and say. The boy putting guns on Facebook, man, he on Instagram with guns. Man, let him do whatever he going to do. Respect been the thing that took me the furthest in life. Respect in everything you do. Respect due to a dog. I do want to open the floor up for questions. If it's any questions. No questions? Okay, here go right here. Hold on, let me get him, then I'm going to get you. So, I didn't get a GED, but I went to a program that kind of pays and did it that way. Go ahead. Man. So I ended up doing, so that's a whole nother thing. So on road to college, I quit 2 times. Life got hard, but every time I quit, I got back on, right? So to get my 4-year degree, it took me like 5.5 years, but I ain't give up. You can do it in 3. You stay focused, you can do it in 3. Guaranteed. You can do a bachelor's degree in 3 years. What, in school? It was a little bit different, but yes. Man, prison is one of the most devastating, depressing places that you'll ever see in your life. This reason for coming here, because some of the places I've seen like prison, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. I don't want nobody in here to experience that. It's the most loneliest, devastating, depressing place that you ever got to see. You don't want to see it, and you can avoid it. Focus on your education, you won't avoid the whole thing. Cool? Go ahead.
Speak up.
So they give it all the time, and they're gonna be reading level. So they should tell you, everybody should know what their reading level is. It's kind of confidential and private, so they ain't telling everybody. So they tell you what your reading level is, and if you're diligent, they'll tell you how to improve your reading level. But everybody here just know, if you don't read past the 8th grade level, they building a prison for you right now. Hold on, let me get this young, it was somebody had their hand up here? It was you? Huh?
Stand where you're asking the question. Stand
Hold on,
up.
let me get him, then I'm coming back. Hold on.
So it's just to that point. If they sit in the reading class, your reading level low. No,
You tell the
he
truth.
telling you you're gonna go to jail if you're not in 8th grade. That was a good question. If you Miss Boyd's class, if you and one of the reading teachers, I don't know the situation, but if you in the you need to hear what he's saying because he's talking to you. If you're in the reading class, he's talking to you. Some of y'all are laughing and talking, not listening, but you in a class and he's talking to you. Listen to what he's saying. They gonna get rich. 100. If you raise your hand, don't raise your hand. But he told you $100,000 per person. They got about $4 million in this room right now coming to them. If you don't change, you better listen to what he's saying.
I have a question, and this is for all of you guys too. So some of these
Hush.
kids need to know, how do they change themselves? Like, they started up, but there's gotta be a way for them to make that change now.
That's a good, so the question, right? And first thing is, it's a decision, right? So if you know where a problem at, you can create a solution. If you live in denial, you can't create a solution. If you scared to admit that you got a problem, you can't create a solution. But if we realize that reading is our problem, that means that we need to get a tutor. We need to go ahead and apply ourselves. Be diligent. Listen, don't worry about what people think, because when you catch that turn, you all by yourself. Go ahead. We're going to come back to that question if I ain't fully answered. Did I fully answer, Ms. Moore?
Did you go to church during your journey?
Did I go
to
to
church?
So I told a story a couple of times. I think I might have missed it, but let me tell you the story. So the answer to your question is yes. But it was a time in that period, that man, look here, I cried at night. And I finally had cried to God, like, I can't do this no more, God. Mentally, I had done broke down and gave up. And told God he could take the wheel from here, because I thought I had it figured out, and I ain't got it figured out. After I took God to go ahead and take the wheel, and he got the wheel from here, now I started following his voice. Now I started to live different and see things different, because I ain't on my own understanding no more, because I realized I don't know nothing. So I had to come bring a bring some faith in this situation, and I would advise everybody that's on the journey, whatever your power is, sometimes we got to tap into that higher power, because we try to go on our own understanding, and man, we don't know nothing. This is our last question, and we're going to get ready to go. This is our last one right here. Go ahead.
Did your parents ever try to better themselves?
My daddy died when I was 16. He didn't want to give up drinking. He didn't want to give up drugs. So my mama did the best she could. She had 5 kids at the age 23. She going back and getting her degree. She tried to better herself, but when you with 5 kids, man, you trying to keep food on the table. Can you imagine what the food bill every month looked like for us? The food bill was astronomical, because she told me, she said, I'd rather clothe you and feed you. It took I was grown to realize what she was talking about. She couldn't keep up with the food bill. So look, that was our last question right there. We get ready to go. I want to thank y'all. Listen, I want to wish y'all the best of luck on y'all journey, and just be great.